All right, have and have not fans, it is time for my first, and hopefully, depending on how this video does, I will try to do these every Wednesday. An extensive breakdown of the trailer for next week's episode, In His Eyes. As always, I want to give all credit to the OWN network, Tyler Perry Studios, Tyler Perry himself. We're going to show the clip of the trailer for next week's episode, then we're going to break it down piece by piece.
You will pay for this baby.
Just like the trash, I'm gonna put your ass out.
Are you ready? Things are about to get lit.
Everything's gonna be all right.
You say that with worry.
Tyler Perry's most explosive season has just gotten started, and it's gonna be a blast.
We're hustlers. There is no honor in this game.
You think you can steal from me?
Before I let him have you, I'll kill both of you.
You can't miss a single episode if you want to find out who all lives and who all dies. Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots.
All right, and that was the trailer for next week's episode. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the trailer you just saw, as well as the mini trailer that appeared during the end credits of last night's episode, Veronica's House. Now, my first time watching the trailer, you know, of course, it does look great because Tyler Perry himself said that last night's episode and next Tuesday's episode are supposed to be mind-blowing, which, again, if Veronica's House was an indication of what the rest of this season is like, then the next 3 months are going to be one heck of a ride. But I do have a suspicion that the trailer we got, the one that we just seen, I feel like that might actually incorporate more than just next Tuesday's episode, because it seems to cover a lot of ground. I don't think that the trailer we saw is all going to occur next week's episode. If it does, well, hey, that will be amazing because it shows that Tyler Perry is trying to pick up the pace here. But personally, I don't. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and try to break this down piece by piece, starting with the obvious one, pretty much picking up the cat fight from last night. Basically, Veronica's throwing Melissa out on the front stoop like she's the trash, and this is after Melissa kind of confronts her about, you're going to pay for this baby. And I actually did a meme about this because if you look carefully at Benny's face, he has a surprised look on his face. He's looking at Veronica, then he's kind of looking at the floor, then he turns around and looks at Melissa, and I'm guessing this is when he comes into the revelation that, oh snap, this chick is pregnant. So this should be interesting to see how that turns out, because I even did another video about, you know, is Benica done? That's the fan shipping phrase for Benny and Veronica, given the fact that Veronica's pretty much lost control of all the men in her life, her husband, her son, and her young sex boy, or whatever you want to call him, errand boy. Yeah, let's call him errand boy. That works. Basically, they're pretty much having sex with everybody that she wants them to have sex with. I mean, she wants her husband, but he's off with this whore, Erica. She wants her son to be straight and be with Melissa, but he's out having sex with men, specifically this cop, Justin. And Benny, you know, wanted him all to herself, but here she comes walking through the front door and sees Melissa on top of him. So yeah, there's that. So Melissa is being thrown out like trash, and you know, Benny's calling Veronica out for, like, you know, what the hell's wrong with you? Next, we have David trying to reassure Erica that, you know, everything's going to be okay. But as Erica points out, you know, he sounds a bit worried and doesn't sound too convincing in the fact that, you know, hey, my wife is trying to, well, lay down law, violating her restraining order, and pretty much will most likely come back. And to be honest, I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do not feel sorry for Erica whatsoever, but I'm beginning to agree with Erica that David is sounding less convincing that he has this under control. I mean, until he busts out a plan or some kind of, you know, last ditch effort, I don't know what he can do to put her back in line. I really don't at this point. Then we also, and this is the real scene that has me questioning whether or not all these scenes are from next week's episode, is when we have Veronica coming through the door. I think she's going, oh my God, because we know later in the trailer we see Justin underneath Jeffrey. So is this apartment that Justin said those two were moving in together in? I don't know. It makes sense to me if that's the case, because I don't think, you know, if Jeffrey makes bail thanks to his dad, that he would willingly or even go back to Veronica's house. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. But then the big question is, you know, how would Veronica even go to that door? Like, would she know where they're at? I mean, Veronica being Veronica probably tracked them down and trying to bring Jeffrey home, but then walks in and then sees those two having, you know, making out on the couch, and she can't take the sight of that. That makes sense to me. Of course, we have Benny being held at gunpoint. It looks like this is occurring at the Iron Bone, the Malone bar. I did read somewhere that, you know, Benny does try to return the money, but it's not as easy as he thinks. But I don't think that's going to occur until like the end of this month. That, again, another reason why I feel that trailer, while great, does encompass more than just one episode. And I even talked about in my Benica video that I believe that after figuring out that giving back the money is not going to be as easy as he thinks, because I'm pretty sure that Benny will just try to return the $45,000, but the Malones won't take it back unless he pays that, I believe is $18,000 interest, or well, pretty much the $6,000 interest, because it's $18,000 every 6 months for 3 installments. So if you did the math there, I believe that would be about $54,000. And if you do the math, what was that? 45, 54, that's 5. Oh, I believe that's $9,000 interest. I could be wrong there, but pretty much they won't just take the $45,000 without that interest in there. And then that's why I feel like, you know, Benny burned his bridge with Veronica, which would have been the perfect route to getting the money he needed. But, you know, hey, that's his problem. He was warned multiple times. Makes me wonder if Mitch is going to be in that episode. We'll just have to wait and see. Then in another interesting scene, we have Sarah crawling to Jim in a very seductive way. It looks like she kicked off her heels and is crawling to him while he's sitting in the chair laughing with a drink in his hand. Not sure what's going on there. I do know that Jim told Catherine he has a plan for the DA, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I'm very intrigued to see what's going on with that. Sarah does look kind of hot in that scene, but that's just me. I don't know. Huh. Well, I never had a woman crawl to, you know, at my feet, so I wouldn't know how that felt. But to Jim, who knows? He's probably used to this kind of power. Then we have another breeze scene. It looks like Catherine's just looking very pissed off and angry at Jim. Most likely due to the fact that, you know, they both went through a very dramatic experience of almost being crushed by their son. But also, you know, I just wanted to point out that I think it's pretty obvious by the upcoming trailers that Wyatt is not going to smash that statue on Jim and Catherine's head, killing them or injuring them or leaving scars, due to the fact that those two look perfectly fine in the upcoming episode. But that doesn't take away from the suspense of that backhand that he gave Catherine and then busting Jim upside the head with that bottle. Kind of poetic justice, because Catherine was the one that busted Candace upside the head with a bottle a couple of seasons ago. Then Jeffrey did the same thing to Quincy. But yeah, that was a very intense scene there. Then we have Derek with Hannah. He says an interesting line. Is like, so should I call you or nudge you in the morning? And Hannah was like, excuse me? And I'm pretty sure that those two won't be sleeping together, because I was actually like, whoa, okay, dinner, dancing, and if they do sleep together, could we see the lion tattoo? Will it be revealed this early? Nah, I don't think so. Maybe those two actually form a sort of relationship, and then as time goes on, boom, there you go with the lion tattoo. Plus, we have that scene, wasn't in the trailer for the next week's episode, but the extended trailer we got at the end of A Lover's Passion back in March, where it looks like Veronica's putting the moves on Derek. If those two have sex, I feel in that instance or in that moment, then we'll see the lion tattoo. So the audience would know that Derek is the man with the lion tattoo, but the likes of Hannah, Benny, and Candace wouldn't know, and those are the ones who know about the tattoo in general, not necessarily the individual that has it. And it looks like, you know, Derek is introducing Hannah to somebody. At first I thought it was Catherine, but given the fact that Catherine's going to be preoccupied with the Wyatt situation, I'm guessing that, you know, it's Derek and Hannah arriving at the dance club or whatever, or the place he's taking her to dance. And, you know, Derek might be like a regular there, and it's like, well, I just wanted to introduce you to my date for the night, Hannah. You know, Hannah's, you know, introducing herself as well. That's how I gauge that. Let's see what else we have here. Candace, you know, has a black leather, a nice hat. She does look pretty attractive in this scene. Looks like she's talking to some woman. I don't recognize this woman. It looks like we can only see like the side of her face, so I'm not sure who it is. It might be a contact of hers. Then we have Wyatt with a bloody nose. And let's see. I actually talked about this in another video about Wyatt getting into a scuffle with a Malone or somebody at the Iron Bone, because it's like, so you think you can steal from me, huh? And then it looks like he's being beaten down. But then Wyatt's getting up, so I don't know if this means he knocked the guy out or possibly killed him. We'll just have to wait and see. But I know that Jim does make it clear to Catherine in one of the trailers, like, you know what, they'll kill him if they find out. So I'm guessing Wyatt does something to get in trouble with the Malones, hence why he's going to be beaten up, because it looks like he's strung out on drugs. So does this mean he stole the drugs from somebody without paying? We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. And then the narrator says it's going to be a blast, which is an interesting phrase to use at the moment where you see David and Erica at his house and you hear like a crash or you see a flash going on. So I imagine that brick through the window was just a small taste of what Veronica has planned. She did say, I'll burn this entire block or neighborhood. So I'm pretty sure Veronica's going to be back with something bigger and more destructive than a brick. Then we have Candace giving this hustler scene, like we're hustlers. We don't have any need for honor, and it looks like she's beating Rocky with a crowbar, just like the Joker beat up Jason Todd in the comic books. But yeah, I also have a video I'm dropping soon about who's going to put Candace in her place, because I'm literally sick of this woman literally getting away with everything. I'm just done with that. Then in one of the most interesting lines of the trailer, Justin saying that before I let him have you, I'll kill you both. I'm thinking that is in reference to Wyatt, I'm guessing, because as far as I know, he's the only male character that Justin feels that Jeffrey is attracted to aside from him. And then I believe that Justin takes Jeffrey out of his cell saying that you're free. And then Jeffrey finds out that's not true and asks to be sent back to his cell. So I'm guessing it's Justin just laying down the law. Maybe he knows that Jeffrey's on the verge of being bailed out. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. We also have a brief scene. It looks like Jeffrey sitting out in the middle of the police station, most likely towards the end of his bail. And it looks like we see George and Sarah there with confused looks on their faces. I can't really make heads or tails of that. And we're almost done here. Yeah, it looks like Oscar is actually foaming at the mouth when Candace is trying to wake him up. And then I believe at the beginning of the trailer we got at the end of the actual episode, we have Benny sneaking a woman home, and it sounds like, I know you didn't bring that woman here. And then it's Melissa, and I think Hannah follows up saying, what, you sleeping with her too? So overall, I think, you know, let me know in the comments if I missed anything, but I think that covers both the mini trailer we got at the end of the episode and then the actual trailer that played at the beginning of this video. But like I said before, I don't think that everything we saw in that trailer is going to be covered on next Tuesday. But if Tyler Perry keeps up the good pacing like he did in last night's episode, we're getting stuff done, because there are several things in last night's episode that I didn't even think would occur for at least another 3 or 4 episodes, because you know how he likes to draw things out. But overall, in his eyes, next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, definitely tune in. I know I will. And as always, I have links to all of my social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, I have and have not Facebook page and group. I urge you, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, share these videos around. I want to get as many people to subscribe to this channel as possible. Thank the Lord, we just crossed 25,000 subscribers. Last year, this time, I barely had 600 or 700 subscribers, showing that these fans for the haves and the have-nots mean business. I hope the show sticks around longer than 2020, because I do have another video dropping about that very subject. So let me know your thoughts on this video. And as I said before, if this video does really well, then I'll definitely be doing in-depth trailer breakdowns like this every Wednesday after we have the trailer dropped on the OWN YouTube channel.